Hey guys, Melissa here, and as promised, going to do that follow-up video, a more in-depth tutorial to Hey Soul Sister. And as you'll remember, that starts on the C, so hey, hey. So immediately you're going to go from your C chord, which is here again, and then right into, for that last A, hey, A, to the A part, you get your G. So hey, then stay on that G. Hey, 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 hey. So you'll notice I'm just going to show you on my notes. So you can see I don't have that fancy software to put it in. I do have an old video editor, but who has the time right now, right? I'm between watering my plants and taking care of my fountains in the garden after work. So here we go. That's what I do, is I write it all out. I think I told you guys before, writing it out instead of just doing the printout, which people can do if it's more convenient. It kind of helps everything stick in your brain. That includes the rhythm of it, because when I'm writing it out, I'm going in my brain, hey, 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 to the A minor. So you can see where the A minor comes in. Then you start a whole new series of hey-yays, hey, 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 to the F. And then lipstick, I always remind myself, starts with the C chord. And I usually just learn line by line, by the way, when I'm learning. It's like an old trick that I used to use when I was teaching in the classrooms. I'm a former teacher, so there are different tips and tricks that would work for some students, and then, you know, everybody learns differently. So other tips and tricks for other people. But if that resonates with you, try it that way. However you learn and what resonates with you, just let us all know in the comments, because we can all learn from one another, or, you know, always learn new tricks, right? So for this, I'm just going to run through that first line I told you about. So we'll start on C, go to the G, then the next A, where we switch, is after 1, 2, 3, 4, the fifth A. Okay, so hey, and then I like to throw in, just for the fun of it, because you change music to be your own, a G chord there to take me into your lip. There's that C. Lipstick stains to the G. On the front lobe of my left side brains. You get through brains before you do the F. If you were looking at my notes on that, you can see how I wrote the F after brains. And most of the songs that you might look up for your lyrics, when they're doing it correctly, they'll do that. And many of them do. Well, they will put the chord, if it doesn't hit until after you've said the word, they'll place that F chord, in this instance, right after. So we stay on that F for a while. I knew I wouldn't forget, on the word forget, at the end of it, the second syllable, get you. And so I went and let, another G, let you blow my mind. Mind is A minor. 4, 1, 2 on the F, 3, 4 on the G. And the reason I do it that way, if you'll notice when I sang it before for the cover song, and to just run through it, I was counting there. And I had started doing that for myself and getting the rhythm down, and I just never stopped because I liked it there, and it felt empty to me because that's how I resonate with the song, to not count there. Okay, so then you stay on that G after the let you blow my mind. 1, 2, 3, 4, stay on that G. Your, then for sweet, or you don't hit any chord at all. You know how that goes. You don't have to hit any chord for you saying your, and then you'll know that that C's coming up for sweet. Sweet moonbeam. On the, you hit the G. The smell of you in every, on single, back to A minor. Single dream I dream. F. Stay on that F. I knew when we collided, you're the one I have decided. So cited is where, see how you're hitting, you're saying some of those words, it's, you're singing them, but it's almost like if you were talking them, you would start saying the word D before you hit G. I know this is very elementary and beginning for those who are already doing it, so just bear with me because I like to include, I always did in the classroom, those beginners that are starting from square one. So once again, as I said before you even play it, you could always hum it and be looking at the chords before playing, hum it, or when you're playing the song, you can hit those chords the way they come in the song while saying da-da or whatever you want to hum. Some people like to say baba or mama, whatever works. So I usually do the da syllable. So can't talk because I'm getting tired. It's gotta get out there and get that gardening done right. Da 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 da. Okay, so you get the idea. I won't do that forever. Okay, so for this, I'd also talked about just, you know, take it line by line. Like for you, you might want to just go just for the hey-a's. Sometimes I'll get that down until it's, you know, playing over in my head, even when I'm sleeping at night. I think I mentioned this before. Sometimes when you're getting a song down, whether it's on this, the guitar, the piano, or what other instruments you play, you know you've probably done that before. You're going to make it your own, but until you do, you just get every word of that down by playing it over and over until it's going, you know, throughout your day, different times during the day, at night. So that's another way. And then once you take it in sections and get that first verse done, then hit that chorus. That chorus does start out on an F. So, hey, soul sister, ain't is here. And the other thing I wanted to tell you guys is don't forget, as I said last time, you don't have to worry about whether you're down, up, down, down, up, down, you know, all the different patterns there are out there, because as you know, once you get familiar with it, you can start deciding what strumming pattern you want to do. When I'm first learning, and this seems to work well for a lot of people and students, is I just stay at the down. I keep it so simple and elementary, because when you're first learning, you're dealing with getting the song down, the rhythm down, the words, trying to decide how you want the words to come in. They might not come in how the artist first wrote them. I change things up all the time to fit either my learning pattern or just what resonates with me. All right, so hey, soul sister, ain't that Mr. on the radio? So I will tell you, and I'm just going to show you this. Don't be afraid to do this. Originally, the lyrics that I looked up, the lyric sheet and tablature, had a C here, and I used to play it like that, and sometimes I play with my daughter, and I was noticing that I was fumbling too much through here to get that C and go back to the G and F. So I decided it sounded fine just staying on the G, so I crossed it out. So that's another thing that helps me, and I noticed it's helped others, is you can change things here. You see I crossed it out here too. And then sometimes if I switch and play on the guitar, sometimes I like hitting those C's, and I just remember, hey, on the guitar, I'm going to hit them, or I have my own notation where I'll circle it back in and use a different color for guitar. I know. I've got different ways that I've always learned since I was little, so I have to do special tricks for myself. So you can see that I had this here at one point, and I had no trouble crossing it out. And the other thing I did for this song, I don't think in my last video, somehow some of the footage was lost, even though it wasn't that long. I don't think this part came in. So I will, this is a long tutorial video today for me because I've been trying to keep them short. But I will go through this part because it's a lot faster, and I'm going to show you at least part of it and maybe come back for a more in-depth tutorial of how you can get this part down and then speed it up or slow it down like I did. I slowed mine down to learn it a lot and then tried to pick up what rhythm I wanted to do through here. So that's my, I guess I would call it wonky way of learning it, and tips and tricks for, you know, different things that you could try, see if they work. If they don't, tell us what works for you, because isn't that part of the learning journey? Is we're never done learning. So even if we've learned it one way, we might be able to pick up a new idea or method that works, not only for us, but for others. So if we could all help each other out, that would be fantastic. So for that chorus, I simplified and took out that C. And this is pretty much, I'll just run through the chorus and that bottom part where it picks it up. And I did not do the second verse. So, because I don't want to keep it too long. And once you've learned this part, you know how it goes. You can learn that second verse on your own, as you guys learn many things on your own, I'm sure. So, here we go. Hey, soul sister, I don't wanna miss a single thing you do. The rest of the ooh is where the G comes in, not at first. Ooh. And then I just say it without a chord. Or you can put G there again. Tonight, tonight, I like nothing. Tonight. Here we go on the faster part. Hopefully. And I just kind of down strum for me. Okay, so the way you can't cut a rug, watching you's the only drug I need. You're so gangster, I'm so that you're the only one I'm dreaming of. You see, I can be myself now finally. In fact, there's nothing I can't be. I want the world to see you'll be with me. So you see how I did that part? Just sometimes I'm just staying on the one chord, just keep going. And then, of course, in the song, I think it goes back to the chorus. But that's what I do. I go back to that chorus. Hey, soul sister, hey. Okay, so you get the idea. And then I end on where it's scribbled out, where I showed you the wave. I actually still look at that. I should star it. That means I can put it back in my own language or notation. Go back to what we started with in the song. Hey, hey, hey. And then I like to throw in the G, even though I didn't write it. Tonight. Just kind of repeat that last part. Tell me what you come up with if you've done this song, or if you decide to do it, and if you come up with a different way to do it and how you like to end it, or how you like to do that crazy part, you know, the way you can't cut a rug, watching you. When I first started that, trying to learn it, because I wanted to learn it so I could play it with my daughter, we play a variety of things together just for fun. The tin whistle, I got those one year for Christmas for a variety of people, and sometimes it's fun. Even those that don't play a lot, they'll pick it up and they'll try, and then sometimes people will try to learn some of the notes, and we'll just have the biggest blast with it. You know, it's just for fun, for a family fun time. And then she'll also, you would not believe how great she sounds on one of those cheap kazoos. I usually do fun things for the family, for birthday parties, and bought a pack of those cheap kazoos, you know, for party favors for kids' parties and such, instead of the, you know, the blowout things where it makes those sounds and the ribbon rolls up. The kazoos, and she's phenomenal on that little cheap kazoo. I even bought them better kazoos because she's got such talent for it. She's very good at picking up instruments and learning them, but she prefers that cheap kazoo. Okay, sorry, I did not mean to digress, but I try to keep up with what's going to work for her, so I had to practice because it would have driven her nuts. Very slow by myself, where I was, the way you can't cut a rug. I mean, and you know, I don't always sing on key. Watching you's the only drug I need. You're so gangster, I'm so that you're the only one I'm dreaming of, you see. I think dreaming was that's how I was going that slow, if not slower, the first, because I was like, how am I going to do this? Because in the song, it's moving so fast. And it, you know, when you watch those videos and you either speed them up, you know, to get through a lot of information at once. I'm saying that because I used to do a lot of research reports and independent reporting. I would have to speed things up to get through a lot of information at once. Or you can slow it down, as I'm sure many of you have tried, in order to learn that song. That's how I was playing it, so slow. I'm going to guess at like a 0.5, you know, 0.50, half speed, in order to learn it. So I tell you these things with, you know, just putting myself out there and looking like a fool at times, because the learning journey, as you know, if you're like me, it's not perfection, even though we're trying to learn that song to where we've got it down fairly perfect. But take that off the table if you're learning to play to enjoy music for yourself, just to make music, or if you're learning to play with your family or with your kids, just to get them to pick it up, or, you know, to spend that time together, that bonding time together. Okay, guys, I didn't mean to make it that long. If necessary, I can come back for a more of a tutorial on that fast part, but I'm pretty sure you guys will get it figured out one way or another. Take care, guys. Until next time, just make music.